Hello, Miss Brown here. So today we are going to be starting our weather unit. We have officially completed energy, and so now we are moving into weather. So the first thing that we are going to talk about are the layers of the atmosphere. So our learning objective, our end goal is that you will be able to analyze and explain the properties of the atmosphere and their scale in relationship to the size of Earth. All right, but before we even get started, per usual, Miss Brown always has a pause. What is even the atmosphere? What is the atmosphere? What is it? So I want you to stop and think about it, and I want you to write down, what do you think is the atmosphere? All right, so the atmosphere is a layer or a set of layers of gases surrounding a planet or other material bodies. So if you looked on Schoology, I have provided you guys with fill in the blank notes. So as we are going through this video, make sure you are filling in the blanks for your notes. All right. So the atmosphere is a layer or set of layers of gases surrounding a planet or other material bodies. So there are 5 layers in our atmosphere. In Earth's atmosphere, there are 5 layers. First, we have the troposphere. The troposphere is the closest layer to us. Then we have the stratosphere. Then we have the mesosphere, thermosphere, and lastly, we have exosphere. It is the furthest from us and it's near outer space. All right, so here is a picture. So we see that the troposphere is near to us, and then as we go up, we end at the exosphere. And I want you to look and notice at the things. We see that there are some pictures in each layer. I wonder what that means. All right. So before we start talking about each layer in depth, I want you to know that the atmosphere is divided into layers based on whether the temperature in the layer increases or decreases. So when we go through each slide, you are going to see that the temperature either increases or decreases depending on which layer we go in. And so as altitude is another word for height. As altitude increases, the gravitational pull decreases, which results in a decrease in air pressure. So all that really means is the higher you go up, think about it. Can we breathe in outer space? If we just floated up to outer space, could we be able to breathe? No. So as altitude height, the higher you go, that air pressure, those air molecules decrease. So that means we wouldn't be able to breathe the higher we go throughout the atmosphere. All right. So first we have, okay, so here's my picture of my gift man. So you see that he has on that helmet. And so astronauts, they wear that helmet for a specific reason, so that way they will be able to breathe. They have an oxygen tank in their suit and all these other things, but that tank keeps them protected to be able to breathe. All right, and then again, here's our graphic. So as we go throughout the troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and exosphere, that air pressure is decreasing. So we are here in Earth, and as we go up, that air pressure decreases. All right, so first we have the troposphere. All right, so the troposphere is closest to Earth. That is the layer that we are more familiar with. We are able to see it and experience it if you've ever been in a plane. Hint, hint. All right, so troposphere, weather and the clouds occur in this layer. Water vapor and carbon dioxide are also found in this layer and are important in the weather conditions in this layer. So essentially, that is just reiterating that weather and clouds occur in this layer. Also, airplanes fly in the troposphere. So airplanes fly in the troposphere. So we have our picture. If you look at our picture up top, we have our passenger plane. We have a hot air balloon. We also have mountains. So Mount Everest is a little bit taller than the troposphere. All right, it extends from the surface of the Earth up to 60 up to 6 to 20 kilometers high. We see in our picture that it says 0 to 12 to 18 kilometers. So it's about a rough estimate. Some people say that the troposphere definitely stops at 20 kilometers, but the temperature decreases. The temperature decreases. So I want you to pay attention to the things that are underlined, and then I want you to pause the video right now and look at your fill in the blank notes and see, is there anything that you could fill in on this slide? All right, so temperature decreases in the troposphere. All right, next we have the stratosphere. So based off of our picture, we see that there's another plane. We see that there are some lines. It kind of looks like there's a little crown going on in here. And we do have a few clouds, but the stratosphere is where the ozone layer is contained. So the ozone layer is these little lines right in there. That is signifying the ozone layer. What is the ozone layer? Have any of you heard of the ozone layer? Or by hearing that word, what do you think the ozone layer is? What does it sound like? So the ozone layer absorbs all the sun's harmful UV rays. So the ozone layer is actually really helpful. So it absorbs all those harmful ultraviolet rays from the sun. All right. It extends from 20 kilometers to about 50, excuse me. Weather balloons fly as high as the stratosphere. So meteorologists, they send weather balloons up into the air for weather and climates. I don't know much about that because I'm not a meteorologist, but the temperature increases in the stratosphere. And if you think about it, if the ozone layer is absorbing UV rays from the sun, is the sun hot or cold? The sun is hot. So if it's absorbing those rays and that's in the stratosphere, then that's what's going to cause that temperature to increase. So in the troposphere, the temperature decreased, whereas in the stratosphere, the temperature increased. All right, next we have the mesosphere. In a way, I remember because they all these terms have fear at the end, but the way that I remember the mesosphere is smack dab in the middle. So there's 5. We have troposphere, stratosphere, and then smack dab in the middle we have the mesosphere. So M for middle. I'm gonna write that. M equals middle. All right, so let's look at our picture. We see that there's some meteors happening here and some meteorological rockets happening here. So let's see what's happening in the mesosphere. So it is the coldest layer. The mesosphere is the coldest layer. It extends from 50 kilometers up to 85 kilometers. Meteors, okay, or shooting stars burn in the mesosphere because of their interaction with Earth's atmosphere. So they're coming in contact with that warmer air and it's causing them to burn up in the mesosphere. All right, and so temperature decreases. And that makes sense because if it's the coldest layer, then we know that that temperature is going to decrease. All right, next we have the thermosphere. So first, the thermosphere is the warmest layer. So unlike the mesosphere, where the mesosphere is the coldest layer, the thermosphere is the exact opposite. It is the warmest layer. And a way that helps me remember this is thermo. So what other word starts with thermo? Thermometer. So thermometer, warmest layer. All right, so the air is very thin in this layer, so that means there is little air pressure. So it's very difficult to breathe for humans. If we didn't have anything on, it's starting to get difficult to breathe. It extends from 86 kilometers up to 690 kilometers. So the thermosphere is huge. The aurora borealis, or also known as the northern lights, occur in the ionosphere, which is located in the lower portion of the thermosphere. Shuttles orbit in the thermosphere, and the temperature increases, which makes sense because the thermosphere is the warmest layer, so the temperature is going to increase. All right, and then lastly, we have the exosphere. So the exosphere is the outermost layer. A way that helps me remember this is exo equals exit. It is outermost layer. So it has almost no matter, so there's no solids, liquids, or gases, and it eventually just kind of fades into space. So it kind of blends in into space. There's no true definite end to that exosphere because it kind of fades into space. It extends from about 690 kilometers to 10,000 kilometers, and satellites orbit in the exosphere. So if you think of like photos or movies that, like I know a lot of Avengers movies, they, especially the one with the my mind just went blank about it. But if they're out of space and you'll see every now and then you'll see like a satellite orbit, that is the exosphere. The exosphere is closest to outer space. All right. Next, so let's review our temperature changes. So in the troposphere, did the temperature increase or decrease? Temperature, that's right, the temperature decreased in the troposphere. All right, and then in the stratosphere, what happened? What is located in the stratosphere that causes the temperature to either increase or decrease? Right. The ozone layer is in the stratosphere, and so it's sucking in all those harmful rays from the sun. So that is causing the temperature to increase. And then we have the mesosphere smack dab in the middle. And the mesosphere, what is so special about the mesosphere? It is the coldest layer. So since it's the coldest layer, that temperature is going to decrease. And then we have the thermosphere. So I'm going to write TSM. The thermosphere, it is the opposite of the mesosphere, which means if the mesosphere is the coldest layer, the thermosphere is the hottest layer, so that temperature is going to increase. And then the exosphere, I didn't have it on the slide, but that exosphere temperature is also increasing. All right. All right, so I have a little graphic for you guys. Here is the picture. So here we have the troposphere. That temperature is decreasing. Here's Earth. Here's us. Here I'm going to draw. Oh, I'm trying to draw me. There's Miss Brown. All right, so here's Earth. We have the troposphere. It's closest to Earth. Then we have the stratosphere. That temperature is increasing. Mesosphere decreasing. Thermosphere, exosphere increasing. So what's the pattern? Is there a pattern? Right. Decrease, increase, decrease, increase. All right. So now what you are going to do is you are going to go into BrainPop. And I know last week I gave you guys access to BrainPop, but then the district had to change some things around. So there is a new code. So the new code is nurse1221. So to access BrainPop, you are going to look on the left-hand side of your Schoology page, and then you will see BrainPop down here. Once you click on it, you will see where it says enter code, and that is where, or it should pop up right in the center, and that's where you're going to type in nurse 1221. Once you type in the code, you will see where it'll have the little bell, your notifications, and it will either say 1, 2, 3, however many. All right, but you are going to see where it says you were assigned to ozone layer movie. So you're going to click on that. And then once you click on that, this will come up. So I'm going to erase my circles. So the instructions, watch the video and take the quiz over the ozone layer. So you're going to watch the video. It's only like 2 minutes long. And then you are going to take the quiz. All right. As always, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to send me an email or you can call me on Teams. Bye, guys.